Welcome. My name is Craig Boyte. I am the EVP of Marketing and PR for New Frontier Data. And today I'm going to give you just a very brief description of New Frontier Data and kind of our methodology. And then we will do the Equio Demo, which is what you're here for. If you have any questions, there is a Q&A button at the bottom. Feel free to type those in. I will try to get to them at the end, and we can go from there. So, about New Frontier Data. We consider ourselves kind of the Bloomberg of cannabis. We do a lot of different reporting and really focus on cannabis data. We try to stay neutral. We are not pro or against cannabis, so we just try to give the facts and what's happening. We do analyze and collect and analyze millions of data points from all over the world. I'll kind of show you how we get those data points. And we really now consider ourselves a technology company, which is where Equio came from and why we're all here today. So really how we get our data are from these 5 sources: federal governments, and that's both US and other countries all around the world, and then state and local governments, as well as the industry itself. That can be from POS systems, online delivery and ordering companies that we partner with, as well as ancillary services and sectors. So that would be someone like us who doesn't touch the plant, but we are involved with cannabis. And then, of course, consumers themselves. We do a lot of different surveys throughout the world. And again, we have all kinds of partnerships with different companies that interact with consumers directly. And really how we support the industry are custom research. So that's really if it's a local company who's looking to know what kind of products they should have, what price points they should have, all the way up to governments who want to know what would happen if they legalize, what they can expect, what kind of revenues they can expect, what kind of tax dollars, how many jobs would be creative. So everything in between, from local to national to even regional. And then we do reports. This is really how we started. We still do about a report a month. The last couple months, we've actually had, 4 or 5 reports come out. But this is how we started, and we still put out reports all the time. They are all available within Equio. I will show you that. And they're really broken down by states and regions, and then countries, and then also by topic. So like energy use, consumer, and just a wide range of topics within the cannabis industry. And then finally, Equio, which is why we're here today. That is our dashboard. So let's not waste any more time, and we'll jump right into it. Excuse me. This is the Equio dashboard. This is what you will see right when you log in. What I'm going to do is I'll kind of start at the top, and I'll move my way down and kind of explain each of the widgets, and then show you some of the newer features and what's going on the left side here. So at the top, we have our stock ticker, and really this is just all of the publicly traded cannabis companies. You can click on any one of them. You can see what's happened today, what's happened in the past 5 days, the past 3 months, and in the entire history of the company. Now, this ticker is also mirrored here in the WeedX widget. This is really for investors, and you can also pick companies here, just like along the top. So you can pick any company, and again, it will show you what's happened today, what's happened the past 5 days, 3 months, and entire history. The one difference here is you can also see what is the latest news on that company. So if you are investing in cannabis, this is a very handy widget for you. Not only can you see individual companies, but you can also see sectors. So as you can see, ancillary services, cultivation, hemp, CBD, and then within that, you can drill down into what's happening in that sector. We also show you leaders and laggers that are going on in the industry, and also stock news. Now, this is a aggregate of all the various companies' news all in one place. So this is, like I said, pretty much geared towards investors, but very handy if you're someone who does invest in cannabis or is looking to invest in cannabis. This is a great tool for you. Now, moving over, we have the Zephyr Consumer Index, and this is like it sounds, it's very consumer focused. You can filter it by state. I'm based in Colorado, so it kind of defaults to Colorado. And then within that state, it will show you the top 3 archetypes of consumers, what their median income is and what their professions are, and then what the population is, male, female, how many adult dispensaries and medical dispensaries, as well as hybrid. And then over here, you can filter by product types, drinks, edibles, flowers, and it will show you the pricing history. And like in this case, it's pre-roll, so gram, half gram, ounce. So this is very handy if you're actually in the industry itself and want to know both some consumer information and some product and pricing information. Okay, moving down. We have product count or patient count and patient saturation. These two are pretty connected. Again, you can filter by state and it will show you what's happening. This is the number of patients. In any states where it's gone legal recreationally, as you can imagine, the patients tend to drop. Obviously, this is medical. And it will also show you the saturation on any given state. And it goes back to 2014, and it has our projections out through 2022. Next, we have country profiles. We have a few countries in here. More will be added in 2020. And this just gives you basically an overview of what's happened in that state. Oh, it looks like my internet is being a little slow, but basically it's a PDF that gives you country, gives you an overview of what's happened in that country, what the history is, where they are currently. They're all PDFs. You can download them, read them, at your leisure. Moving down, we have the Cannabis Insight Daily. This is our daily newsletter. If you don't subscribe, I would recommend subscribing. What we do is we pick the top 5, in our view, the top 5 cannabis stories each day. This goes out Monday through Friday, and this is really the archives going back, really goes back years. So there's thousands of stories in here. You can go back and see, the year or the date, what was in July, what was the big news stories during that time. You can also search by topic, financial hemp, obviously all these different topics. So again, this is just different ways to sort of slice and dice the news, but it's very handy if you're doing any kind of research or you just want to stay up on the industry. This saves a ton of time because we have it all right here in one place for you. The interactive data map is actually one of the most popular features within Equio, and there's a number of different layers, all with a lot of data behind each of those layers. So this first one is Legalized States. It really is just an overview of what's going on in that state. Obviously, you can see adult use and medical use, and then it will show you like what is legal within those states. There's also qualifying conditions for all of the various medical. Cannibalization. This is something we used to only offer to the top subscription levels, but now it is available to everyone. And this really shows what cannabis is doing within a given state to the alcohol, tobacco, and pharma. What dollars that used to be in those different verticals are now shifting to cannabis. Job opportunities. This is actually shown 2 places within. Yeah, like I said, my internet's being a little clunky. This is shown 2 places within Equio, both in the map and down here, which is another widget. It's basically the same data though. And you can, again, filter by state. It will pull up all of the various jobs that are available in that state within the cannabis industry. And down here, you can really filter it. So you can filter by state. You can also filter by role. So if you're only interested in store managers, say, or marketing or bud tending, whatever it is in the industry, all the job offers are being pulled in, or job opportunities, I should say. Tax rates. This is exactly what it sounds like. Right now, we only have it in 4 states. More states will be coming, but it really is what the tax rate is within that state, and it goes down to city and county level. So this is handy, again, if you're in the industry or looking to get in the industry and want to know what's happening within that state and what are the taxes within that city, within that state. And then lastly is the investment opportunity. And this is something that we've put together. So this is New Frontier data, and it's just a real high overview of where the opportunities are for investing within any given state. So in this case, Montana, it shows what would be, something to look at within that given state. And again, this is just our projections and what we are predicting. All right, moving down, we have market projections. This again is New Frontier data. Market projections, obviously in the past, it's actuals, but then when you move forward, this is what we are projecting for both medical, recreational, legal, and illegal. And then tax notices. This is something, if you're in the industry and you want to be aware of what's happening, you can filter by state. So this will show you everything that's happened recently or what's coming up. So these are all the tax notices that have happened within California. You can see there's a lot going on, and this is just within, this month. It goes down to city level, and it will even show you if there are things coming up. So like a city council, say, are going to vote on raising taxes within Palm Springs. So this is very handy if you are in the industry. And again, this is the job listings that we looked at earlier. All right, now if we move up, reports and charts. This is all of the New Frontier data reports, and charts. We'll get to that. But when you get a subscription for Equio, you basically are given almost all of the New Frontier data reports for free. In this case, I'm in a master account, so I have all of the reports, but it will show you what's included. And really it is, I would say, over 90% of the New Frontier data reports are included with a subscription. With any report, you can click it, you can view it in the viewer, you can download it as a PDF and view it whenever you would like. And you can filter it a number of different ways. You can search for topics, you can search for an individual report, whatever you would like to do. And then we have some other ways to look at reports. Interactive reports are really if you don't have a great deal of time, but you want to see kind of an overview of what is in a report. So in this case, this is global state of hemp. It will show you the key findings. It will also show you all the charts within that report. The charts are also included here. This is the charts library, and this is every single chart that we've ever put in any report. So there are thousands of charts in this library. With the higher levels of subscription, you actually get to download and you get full usage of any chart. So you can put them in a deck, you can do whatever you would like with them. So this is very handy for people who are doing research on the industry, or people who are maybe putting together a proposal and would like some data to back up their claims or back up their business proposition, whatever it may be. Thousands and thousands of charts to choose from. You can select it from a specific report. You can pick up all the charts that are in that report. Again, sorry about the internet not showing up so well today. But you can also search by keyword. So if you want only, say, hemp, you can search by hemp and it will pull up all the charts that have to do with hemp. And again, there are thousands of them. So this is a very, very handy tool and a handy place for anybody who's doing research. And this is a very popular feature. The reports library is just a different way to filter the reports. So if you want to look at only the state reports or special reports, it will pull in like energy or hemp or whatever the case may be. It's basically the same thing. It's just sliced and diced a little bit different. All right, moving down, the data marketplace. This is something brand new. So we just rolled this out just a couple weeks ago. And this is really the data behind our reports. So this is raw data. And in any case, you can go to a specific report and it will show you all of the data that is in that report. and you can purchase whatever you would like from that report, and it will give you the actual data sets. So if you're doing research, for example, this will save you a lot of time because you don't have to go searching throughout the internet and making partnerships and doing all the various things that you would have to do to get the data. Say you're doing something on Africa. Well, here's raw data on Africa. It will, and there are details on each one of those. It will show you what's in the data. It will give you a sample of the charts within it. So this is something like I said, we just rolled out. We're very excited about it. You can filter by area, so countries or regions, also by market segment, adult use, medical, or hemp, and then time period. So going back to 2012, that's the earliest our reports go back. And then 2025, obviously that's projections, but that will show you all of the data sets that we have that we've used to project things. So this is, we're pretty excited about this. For people who are doing research, this has become a very popular feature. Within the US, you can also even filter by state. There's a lot of ways you can slice and dice all of these different data sets, and there are hundreds of them, and they are very detailed, and really it is just raw data. So it's not for everybody, but if you are somebody who is looking for data, this is really the place to find it. I don't think there's anything like it in the industry, so very handy for a number of different people. Okay, moving down, we have investing, researching, and operating. This is really just different ways to look at what we have within Equio, and it just kind of groups them together based on these interests. So if you are an investor, say, this will pull up all of the various widgets that we feel are important to investors. If you are somebody doing research, it's the same thing. It really is all of the things that we feel would be of interest to people who are researching. There are some things that we didn't see on the homepage, like the Cannabis here. The Cannabis is our weekly newsletter that we put out, and it really, every single week, there is a piece of proprietary data that we come up with. There's a chart, there's a blog that accompanies it, and this is really all the archives of all the cannabis that we've done, dating back to 2014, so it goes back quite a ways. Might be the very end of 2014 or 2015. But this is the full archives of all of them that we've ever done. There's also presentations. This is another area that's very popular. We give a lot of presentations throughout the country and really throughout the world. And this is where you can find those. People ask all the time, where can I get the presentations? And this really has all of the various presentations that we do. And you can download them. Again, it's a PDF. You can take a look, use it as you will. This is something that we found to be very popular. And then some of these other ones we've looked at before. This is just a different way to view reports. The interactive map I showed you. Webinars is something else. We give a webinar about once a quarter. Next year, we're actually planning on doing more than that. We're going to try to do one a month. We'll see if that happens. I'm hopeful. But this is where you can find all the webinars. You can actually find most of them on our YouTube page as well, but not all of them. So you will find some here that are not available anywhere else. Again, here's interactive reports. And as someone told me, they find the interactive reports a very good way to figure out if any given report is something they actually want to spend the time and really dig into. Because you get key findings, you get an overview, you also get executive summary. So it's just a way to save time. And again, operating, this is just another way, this is just another group of widgets that we've put together that we feel would be of benefit to someone who is operating within the cannabis industry. So actually all of these widgets we've seen on the home dashboard. It's just a different way to look at them. And then the reference library. This, again, are things that we've looked at before. It's just grouped it a little bit differently. The webinars are all right here. Our presentations are all right here. Canna clips are short videos that we make for every report that we do, usually only about a minute, minute and a half, but it gives you an idea of what's in the report. And you know, it's just it gives you a stat or two of what's going on within that report, what you might see, and would that report be of interest to you. Now again, almost all the reports are free with an Equio subscription, so that's quite handy. So in this case, it's the US report. It gives you like a stat of something that from the report, usually actually a few stats. So again, just another way to save time, so you don't have to kind of just dig through hundreds of reports and figure out, and then really read them all and figure out if that's something you want to spend hours and hours digging into. This gives you an overview of, okay, that's a report I could be interested in, and then you can download it and read it. Again, here's the Insight Daily, our daily newsletter, and our weekly newsletter. Now we're almost out of time, I see. So I'm going to leave a little bit of time for questions and answers. I also want to pull up some contact information. Feel free to reach out to Spencer. He will give you a one-on-one demo if you would like. He would be happy to walk through and then answer any questions if you don't want to ask in like a public setting like this. Obviously, he can give you a one-on-one demo and answer any questions you may have. And with that, it doesn't look like we have any questions, but we're almost out of time anyway. So I want to thank you all for joining us today. We do these normally every first Thursday of the month. Last week we had a webinar, so we did not actually, that's why the demo is today instead of last week. And just to let you know, in January, our offices will be closed that first week in January, so the demo will be on the second week in January. And if any of you are subscribers to our newsletters, again, our offices are going to be closing over the holiday break, so the last cannabis will be going out this Sunday, and then we will be taking a break until the second week in January.